Be Me, 29M, designer for a lifestyle brand. Half remote, half existential. Days blur into Zoom calls and playlists. Nights mean headphones, the faint city hum, and unread Miz. Been single 8 months, not heartbroken, just unoccupied. Thursday night. A friend texts. Film screening plus drinks after. Come through. Didn't plan to, but stayed too long staring at fridge light. Ended up going anyway. Small indie theater, smells like burnt popcorn and opinions. Short film about climate grief. Post-screening Q&A devolves into a circle of performative clapping. Then she speaks, Rena. Cropped hair, black eyeliner, voice like it's used to microphones. She says, we can't separate feminism from the environment because both suffer under extraction. People nod like disciples. I just blink. Something about her tone, confident, fluent in anger, but not mean. I find myself listening instead of pretending to. After the panel, she talks with everyone. I hover, pretending to check my phone. Somehow we end up at the same table. She asks what I thought. I say, it's cool seeing a crowd care about something that isn't a Marvel movie. She smirks. Low bar, but yeah, conversation flows. She's sharp, articulate, electric. I feel slow, clumsy, like buffering mid-sentence. But she laughs once, real, unfiltered. That's enough. Later she adds me on Instagram. Bio, intersectional or nothing. Stories equals protest flyers, feminist memes, art reposts. I like one photo accidentally from 14 weeks ago. Panic delete. She messages first. Wow, stalking already? I reply, academic research. She sends a laughing emoji. We start talking. 2 a.m. chats become routine. About work culture, men who think equality is a hobby. I agree more than I speak. She says, you're quieter than your texts. I say, you're louder than yours. She grins in typing bubbles. First date, small cafe that plays vinyl and Judgment. She orders long black, no sugar. I ask if she ever relaxes. Feminism is relaxing, she says, once you realize how exhausting patriarchy is. I smile like I understood. We talk for 2 hours straight. She breaks down why the word empowerment has been co-opted by capitalism. I nod. She asks about my work. I say I design logos. She says, so you help brands sell self-worth. Not wrong. I laugh it off. She doesn't. Later we walk. She holds eye contact like a challenge. Says, I don't date men who get defensive. I say, I'll try not to fail the entrance exam. She smirks. Her hand brushes mine. A spark, not soft, but static. Week later, second date. Bookshop event. Women writing the future. She introduces me to friends. They all have shaved heads or tote bags with slogans. I feel like the only lowercase letter in a room of bold fonts. Still, I try. Ask questions, listen, keep up. One friend says, he seems chill. Rena replies, we'll see. Not flirtation, evaluation, dinner after. She orders vegan pasta. Lectures the waiter about dairy supply chains. I pretend to read the menu. Halfway through, she says, you ever think about how language oppresses women? I say, like grammar? She says, exactly. Not sure if she's joking. I send single quotes a month in. Things are intense. Every date feels like a debate disguised as intimacy. Every text like an essay prompt, but I'm hooked. She's passion incarnate. Feels alive in ways I don't. I try to match her frequency. Read essays, watch lectures, follow activists she retweets. Half the time I don't understand, but I want to. One night I joke. What if I open the door for you but ironically? Silence? She says, irony is still patriarchy, just self-aware. I apologize for existing. She says, don't apologize, just reflect. Another night, she says, men don't listen unless there's pain in the sentence. I say, I'm listening now. She says, because I made you care. I say, because I like you. She smiles, small, brief, like she forgot she's supposed to win. Next morning, she posts a thread. Dating men while feminist is like doing homework in a burning building. One of the likes equals mine. I delete it. Can't tell if it's about me. Probably is. Argument about movies. I mentioned Before Sunrise. She says, romanticizing male wandering is peak entitlement. I say, I just like the dialogue. She says, that's how it sneaks in. I laugh out of habit. She doesn't. Still, we hang out. Her apartment full of protest posters and secondhand books. She makes tea, quotes bell hooks, types mid-conversation. Sometimes she leans on me. Soft moment, quiet, no theory involved. Those are rare. Sacred. Fragile like truce. Month 3, I start to slip. Exhausted trying to be progressive enough to deserve her. Start second-guessing every word. Is this problematic? Am I centering myself? Am I overcompensating for overthinking? Brain turns into a committee meeting. She senses it. You're withdrawing. I say, just tired. She says, tired is privilege. Maybe, maybe not. I stop arguing. She invites me to her talk at a university. Topic: Love under patriarchy. Resistance or reproduction. Title alone makes me sweat. I go anyway. Sit in the back row. She speaks like she was born with a microphone in hand. Every sentence flawless. But when she says, even in love, men benefit from inequality, she glances my way. The pause between slides feels heavier than her words. After the talk, she asks, did you like it? I say, you were incredible. She says, that's not what I asked. I say, it was powerful. She says, powerful how? I realize every compliment needs a citation now. Small things break. I send a meme. She says, misogyny disguised as humor. I send a voice note. She says, interesting tone. I send nothing. She says, see? Silence is avoidance. Final dinner. Restaurant with dim lights, tired waiter. She orders ethically sourced wine. I order regret. We sit in quiet. She says, you've changed. I say, I learned. She says, no, you adapted. I ask, isn't that growth? She says, not if it's for me. She reaches for her bag, says softly, you're kind. But kindness isn't deconstruction. She stands, walks out. No dramatic ending, just the sound of my fork on an empty plate. Weeks pass. I scroll through her feed sometimes. She's on a panel, another protest, more quotes. Caption: love is political. I don't like or comment. I just exist elsewhere. Nights get quiet, too quiet. I start journaling again, not about her. About me, about how I kept shrinking to fit her theory, about how love shouldn't feel like homework. See her once at a bookstore months later. She's laughing with someone, new guy. Tote bag says, smash patriarchy. Good for him. She doesn't see me. I leave before she does. Train ride home. Phone buzzes. Trending topic. Would you date someone who's too feminist? Click. Deja vu? Same arguments. New usernames. Everyone shouting in circles. I scroll, then stop. Think of her, her voice, her certainty, her fire. Admire it still. Fear it still. Love it still, a little. But never again. Would I date someone who's too feminist? No. Why should I?